picking up your fifth foul. The team had a 2-point advantage. How tough was it in that moment to pick up that foul and then be on the bench for the as your team's fighting for its playoff life?
Yeah, it was tough. Yeah, never really had anything like that happen before. So
they reviewed the fifth foul, but just what was your understanding of the play? Did you get some sort of explanation in the moment, or just what did you make of that whole?
I mean, I was trying my best not to foul. I knew I had 4 fouls. I felt like I stopped short of him going up, and he went up, with his elbows out, hit me in the face, and they called it on me. And then he did the same thing to Corey Joseph. They called it on Corey. So I'm not sure what that rule is. Maybe I had a misunderstanding of what the rule is there, but I was trying my best not to foul.
Obviously, we saw what happened, but just how did that, from your perspective, setting change the game?
What?
Just after you exited the game, how did that? What went wrong for the team from your perspective?
I mean, they opened the game up, but I mean that's what happens. If I'm able to be in the game, that doesn't happen. We was playing well, but it wasn't in the cards for us.
Paolo, at the first half, the Magic was tight, but the whole team seems like off at the third quarter. Could you talk about what team has been through at the third quarter?
I think they just started making their threes at a high rate, and we weren't generating enough offense to keep up.
And you were very mad about the call where you get elbowed, but at Game 5, such a crucial game, how do you think the refs did a good job on balancing fair calls tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I've never in my career, NBA or before, picked up 3 fouls that quickly. So I told the refs that. I told them how I felt. I told them that 2 of the 3 weren't fouls, but they saw it. They saw it a different way.
What did the team do so well in the first half to take the lead, play ahead for the first time, and aside from your absence, what seemed to go wrong? What kind of finally broke the dam for Boston shooting?
I mean, we just played good basketball. The first 2 quarters, early in the third, we was feeling good on both sides, I would say. But it's hard for the team to, withstand me going out for that long, honestly. I mean, that you saw that in the third quarter. It's just a tough spot for our team to be in,
Paolo, you've seen both the Knicks and the Pistons. I'm just curious, who do you think would be the tougher matchup for Boston?
The Knicks or the Pistons?
Yeah.
I haven't really watched enough of their series, but I'm sure whoever wins that series will be a good series against Boston.
Back to this series, just what's your overall takeaway from a 5-game series with the defending champs?
I don't know, really. Lost 4-1. That's all I can really say.
I think you just answered my question, but I was going to ask, does how close 4.5 of those games were, is that kind of a springboard or show that your team is close to where you and your teammates wanted to go?
I mean, we wanted to go to the second round, so I don't think anyone is, necessarily happy that we, didn't get blown out 4 games. Like, that wasn't the goal. The goal was to win and go to the second round. So, I'm not taking any moral victories from this series. The goal was to win.
It's been a story for this team throughout the season. The struggles from everyone to make shots and to make open shots. Obviously, you were out of the game for a lot of the third quarter, but what did you think of the quality of the looks that the team was generating through parts of that third quarter, and how frustrating is it when, especially in a game of this magnitude, that those shots aren't going in?
Yeah, it's just the way the game went. Shots didn't fall. I think my teammates did what they could.
Possession before, Paolo picks up his 5th foul. You guys hold a 2-point advantage. After that foul, what did you see? What really swung the game in the other direction in that moment?
No, obviously they made a lot of threes in that third and fourth quarter, and we struggled to score once Paolo went out. I thought a couple good looks that just didn't go, but a couple of bad possessions as well, and they went on a big run.
Franz, how did Paolo's absence in the third quarter affect you guys mentally? Him picking up those 3 fouls right away. Just what was kind of the reaction of your team?
No, I thought I just explained how we played. I thought we had a good mindset coming out of the timeout.
Did you say anything to Paolo in that moment, or just what do you do as a teammate after he picks up a 5th foul? And I'm sure it was frustrating for him.
We talked about it as a team that we continue to play. Paolo's been leading us all year, and our message wasn't in timeout to have his back, and obviously it didn't go our way, but yeah.
We've mentioned and talked about all year the shooting struggles for the team in general. You mentioned got a lot of good looks in that third quarter to when you're trying to stay in the game. How frustrating is it in a game of these stakes to feel like you're getting the looks that you want and they're just not going in?
Yeah, it's frustrating for sure. I think it's very obvious looking at the stat sheet. It's definitely something everybody on the team has to work on, and I think there's also a lot of good in that. Knowing that if we improve that, I think we're an extremely dangerous team.
You just kind of touched on the takeaway from the series. Just what's the big picture from this and from this experience?
I think exactly what I just said. I think I think we saw how effective our defense is against one of the best teams in the league. They won it all last year, so a bunch of close games. Obviously, small margins win these games, and third quarter today, last 4 minutes, last game. It's just 1 or 2 possessions sometimes that can make a big difference. We go here 2-2 is probably a totally different game. So, but that's what's fun about the playoffs, and we'll make sure we get better in the off season and come back better next year.
Franz, at the third quarter, you and Al Horford were bumping at each other. The ref did not call anyway. Could you talk about what happened at that moment?
Nothing, right? He didn't call none, so good physical playoff basketball, I'd say.
You mentioned the defense being able to kind of hold this Boston team down. What kind of finally broke the dam for them in the second half when they were finally able to get some of those shots to go down?
Yeah, I think it's pretty simple with them. They play a lot of high pick and roll. Obviously, Tatum got going. Got others involved as well. And I got a couple just super open ones, and that's where they're really dangerous, when they make a couple in a row, and the 5-point lead all of a sudden is 20 points. I thought the rest of the series, honestly, we did a pretty good job with that. But you got to give them credit too. They're extremely good team. A lot of really skilled players, and it wasn't our day today.
Maybe this isn't the time for this kind of reflection, but ultimately the playoff series was a loss as well. But what did you kind of see from yourself in your second playoff experience?
I just talked about the 3-pointers. Some definitely that I need to work on. Other than that, I think I improved if you compare it to last year, and I think that's always really cool. It's a tough league we play in, so to see that progress is cool for me. But same result as last year. So hopefully we can get past this round next year.